Welcome back. Welcome back. Okay, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into Macomb Township. We're going to talk about everything you need to know about this growing township, the places to eat, places to shop. What about the school districts? Yes, multiple school districts, as well as some other cool hidden gems in this township. This is one of the most popular cities for families to move to, and let's get into the video. And what actually makes up Macomb Township, right here is the border. So you have your south side here, which this is all Hall Road, right? All of this right here on the bottom is Hall Road. You even see the harbors. And for a lot of people out there, well, that's the harbors, but I used to stay there, by the way. That's Clinton Township. But this Hall Road area, all of this is gonna be your south border. So there's a lot going on right here on Hall Road, which, you know, you have the mall right here, which is Partridge Creek, and that is going to be huge. So for a lot of the people that want to go shopping, if you want some really nice places to eat, they have PF Chang's, there's Hopcat, there's even a California Pizza Kitchen, there's now Andiamo's over there. So, and also Cooper's Hawk. So a lot of cool places to eat here. Nice places to shop. So this is going to be the main mall. It used to be like Lakeside. Lakeside got torn down, or not torn down, but shut down. So all we have is Partridge. So here you go. Right here. It's going to be all Hall Road. And on the north side, it goes all the way up to 26 Mile Road. 26 Mile Road is going to be the north side, right? So that's six miles, right? From Hall Road, which is basically 20 mile, that goes all the way up to 26. And then your east and west borders, right? Your west border is going to be Hayes. And then the other side, it kind of cuts into Fairchild. So there is Fairchild, but it cuts through the middle of Fairchild all the way up to 26. So that, my friends, that is what makes up Macomb Township. All right. And there's so much that is happening here in this, what is it, 36, in this 36 square mile area. There's so much happening here. You even see right here, Wolverine Country Estates. That is one of the subdivisions that we are going to cover. That is a very sought after area, new homes, and we've done home tours over there. We actually did one called the Berkeley. The Berkeley is over there. We just recently did that one. So that's Macomb Township, right? So there's kind of like the quick, you know, information of Macomb, what makes it up, what makes the actual boundaries. And now what we're going to do is I want to start talking about some of the cool things that are in Macomb Township. Also, I want to say, if you are out of state or even in state and you're looking to move anywhere in the Macomb County area, Metro Detroit, that's Oakland or Wayne, my information is in the description below. It's also pinned to the top of the comment section. So if you go to the comment section, you're going to see a link and you can hit that form. I can learn more about you and give you a call, right? So if you are thinking about moving, give me a call, all right? Let's get back into the video. All right. So let's talk about some fun stuff, right? I like to have fun, right? Before we start talking about, you know, what school district, this and that, let's talk about what you can do around Macomb Township. That is pretty cool. And let's start with one of the first things. Let's get into my map view. Let's talk about Macomb Township Recreation Center, right? This is right here on 25 Mile, right up here in Foss Road. So it's kind of one of those like hidden roads you kind of got to get to, but it's on 25 and Foss Road. And I take my children here. My wife also takes my children to the Macomb Township Library as well, which is right in here. And when I tell you that they have a very nice setup here, very clean, library is amazing, and the rec center is nice. I had my daughter a couple years ago, she was doing soccer. She was in their soccer program, and I walked around the recreation facility because I can't sit down, and I checked out the basketball court, and yes, your boy was thinking about going on to the basketball court because I still got some skills. But it was a nice basketball court, very nice and clean environment. So if you want to take your family somewhere, that is a really cool place. Take them to the Macomb Rec Center. That is one place. as well as, and I'll just type it in here even though it's right by there, the Macomb Township Library, right? We're gonna go a little bit like right outside of Macomb. It's technically literally a hop, skip, and away when I mentioned the border of Macomb Township. And there's CJ Barrymore. So if you want to go someplace with your family and you want a really cool place, go to CJ Barrymore's. It's on Hall Road, and well, Card runs north and south, but it's literally right below Hall Road and Card, right across the street. You know, if you threw a ball, you would be in Macomb. But this is a really cool thing. A lot of cool events are going on at CJ Barrymore's. For my golfers, for my people who want to swing a golf club, they have a dome in there, and it's usually packed in the summertime, which is to be expected. But there's a really cool place to go to. Of course, right down the street, there is Partridge Creek. Again, not Macomb, but right across the street from Macomb Township. And this is where you're going to get everything, right? You're going to get your food here. You're going to get really good stores here, right? They've got your Lululemon. They have Express. They've got even JD, Journey, a nice shoe store. They've got Pandora. They've got everything there at that Partridge Creek, so people love it. And also, yes, you have your crazy Costco. This is in Macomb right there. So right here, well, it's Shelby Township, but Costco is crazy. Is it just me, or is Costco almost like a dangerous place to go to? I mean, I see people just like running out of there with carts and cars coming, and it's like Costco is crazy, you know? I think Sam's Clubs is the same way, but here's a local tip, man. Be careful about this Costco, and if you can avoid going through the entranceway and going around it, do so. All right, so let's talk about some other cool things in Macomb Township. And I want to talk about the parks, right? Macomb Township, they have a lot of parks. And I'll show you the ones I take my kids to. So there's Waldenburg Park, Pitchford Park, there's Lucido Park, Macomb Corners Park. I mean, there's quite a few parks there, and right in Macomb, and they're beautiful. Waldenburg Park, this one's right on Romeo Plank. So 21 Romeo Plank. This right here is really nice. They actually just redid their basketball court. So they have a really nice, I think it's like rubber or something, but they've redone the basketball court. It's great. And I take my children here to, you know, play, and it's a really nice play area. I go here often. I've just started going to Pitchford Park, which will go up here. This is also Romeo Plank, so you could take, let me move myself out of here. You could take Romeo Plank here, and then right above 22 Mile, right above it, is Pitchford Park. And this is a pretty good park, very open, very spacious park. You know, they have bathrooms, everything. It's just a very, very clean park. And everything about Macomb Township is clean, right? That's the good thing that it has. I have not been to Macomb Corners Park. This one is on 25 in Broughton. So this is kind of by the library, not too far from the library. Yep. There's the rec center right there. So I have not been here, but yeah, you know, they have some parks here. So if you're looking to kind of get the kids out of the house, use up some energy, let them be outside, take them to either one of these parks. And I could definitely vouch for Waldenburg Park. Very, very nice park. And it even has a nature trail. Waldenburg Park has a nature trail in the back that's very peaceful for even yourself, right? As a grown-up, as an adult, to just go there and go on a peaceful walk. So there are some cool, fun things to do there. Another cool thing I wanted to add about the Macomb Township Rec Center, they have a Macomb like water center inside the rec area. And they have like the lazy river, splash pads. They have a lap pool, a hot tub. So make sure you bring your swimsuit or your swim shorts, because they offer that inside the rec center. So again, a very great place to go to burn some energy with the kids, or if you want to create an event so you can just get around Macomb Township, take a look at the rec center, and then take a look at that water center as well. Right now, it looks like there is about $8 for residents and then $16 for guests. So if you're looking to just even go there from out of Macomb Township, you'll just pay double the price. All right, so let's talk about what if you want to go to the movies, and a nice place that me and my wife like to go to. You know, sometimes we struggle between MJR and going to Imagine, and Imagine seems to always win. I don't know. I think we just like their chairs better, just their environment. I don't know. But maybe we should get a sponsor from Imagine. But Imagine is right here on 23 Mile in Hayes. 23 Mile in Hayes. And this is a really nice movie theater. Again, I mean, there's so much you can do in Macomb. You know, you can imagine going to the mall and shopping and doing all that, and then having a movie night and going to Imagine. And, you know, you can even get something to eat. You know, there's Arts and Jake's like right over here on 23 in Hayes as well. There we go, right there, Arts and Jake's. It's in Shelby, but, you know, just take 23 Mile down. This is a really, really nice place. Nice local spot people like a lot. But yeah, if you're looking for, you know, a nice place to go out, watch a movie, you've got Imagine Theater. You know, again, there's quite a bit to do around Macomb Township. Even though it's still a lot of development going on, there's a lot of things to do, and then even nearby stuff, right? I'm trying to stay in Macomb, but Macomb connects to everything, to Shelby Township, to Clinton Township. You know, it's just, you can get everywhere, right? And I think maybe that's the next thing we'll talk about is the commute time in Macomb. All right, so let's say you want to move to Macomb Township. You're thinking about it, right? You're thinking about giving me a call, but you're like, I need to know how far it is from certain places. Let's dive into it. Let's maybe just see how far it's to downtown Detroit, right? And if you're in Macomb Township, right? Move that around. And let's say you want to go downtown Detroit. Your commute time is going to be about 41 minutes. Now, I have to say this, maybe it's either because I drive a little bit fast, but it does not seem like a 41-minute drive for me. Usually I can get to downtown in about 30 minutes, maybe 35-ish minutes, right? But it's going to take you, depending where you are in Macomb Township, about 41 minutes. And then your main freeway is going to be 94. All right, you're going to pretty much cut straight into downtown Detroit by coming to 94, which turns into 75 real quick. But you're pretty much taking all of that all the way down, right? So that's how far it is to get downtown Detroit. Let's just say maybe you want to go to, I don't know, let's say Royal Oak, right? Maybe you want to go downtown Royal Oak, right? Maybe you're not even a fan of downtown Detroit, but maybe you want to go over to Royal Oak, right? Maybe you want to have a nice nightlife. It's probably going to take you about the same amount of time. Yeah, it's going to take you about 38 minutes, right? You're going to take 696, 94 to 696 all the way there if you want to get there. And look at that, Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle. I talked about it in my last show, in my last breakdown. I go there for comedy shows once in a while. But yeah, so Macomb to get to downtown Detroit, about 41 minutes. If you want to go a little further west and you want to get to downtown Royal Oak, you're talking about 41 minutes as well. And let's just say you want to go to maybe downtown Rochester. And my guess is that it should be a lot quicker than that, because I can get there. Yeah, I was going to say I can get there in at least 25 minutes. So yeah, you're talking about a 25-minute time frame if you're wanting to go from Macomb straight on over into downtown Rochester. So you're looking at somewhere between 25 minutes to 40 minutes to pretty much get anywhere. You know, whether you want to go a little further west or we want to go down to Detroit. So you got a little bit of distance, but it's not too far. Once you get in that car and start rolling, time goes pretty fast. All right, you guys, let's talk about some school districts, and then we'll talk about some houses and subdivisions and stuff that's pretty cool to talk about. In Macomb Township, depending where you stay, you have 3 school districts that you can choose. So if you want to be intentional, then you got to kind of watch your zip code and where you stay. But let's talk about the 3 school districts that you have. Utica Community Schools. You know why I want to start here, guys? You know why I make Utica Community Schools #1? Because I went to Utica Community Schools. I am a Stevenson Titan. I'm a Titan alumni. Titan? Yeah. So if you're from Eisenhower, there's still a little bit of hatred down there for the Ike folks. You guys beat us a few times in football and stuff, but I think we did our thing. But anyways, let's get back over here. Utica Community Schools, an A- rating. It's the #1 best school district in Macomb County. So if you want to be in, Utica Community Schools, then there you go, right? Let's just take a quick scroll down. So this may be important to you, but teachers, it's a 20-to-1 student to teacher ratio, if that is important to you. Chippewa Valley Schools, okay? Chippewa Valley Schools has an A- rating. So if you're thinking about, should they go to Utica? Should they go to Chippewa? This one is the second best in Macomb County. So there's #1 and #2, all in Macomb Township. So think about it. And you will probably be thinking about Dakota High School. And let me tell you something about Dakota High School, right? My godbrother went there, and Dakota High School is really nice, right? As you can see right here, A- in sports. He was a part of the football team, went to a couple games. Man, that school is very nice. They even had an entrepreneurship program. I don't know if that's just a new thing for schools, but I thought that was really cool. So if you're thinking about Chippewa Valley, you're probably thinking about Dakota. Take a look at that. You want to think if you care about the teacher or student to teacher ratio, it's 22 students to 1. So, these are some things that you guys might think about. But this is the #2 best school district in Macomb County. Let's take a look at the third one. That's New Haven Community Schools. And this one is ranked a B. So, compared to Utica, compared to Chippewa, now you're moving over to New Haven, right? So if you stay closer to 26 Mile Road, you're probably going to be in that New Haven school district. So again, if this is something that you really care about, and if you don't want to go to New Haven, then, you got to kind of watch where you're living, but it has an overall B rating. It's not horrible. It's the #9 best school district in Macomb County. Okay. Sports are all right. Sports are all right. Let's go ahead and scroll down to the student. This is a 20-to-1 student ratio. And also New Haven is a much smaller, it's a village, really. It's considered a village. So it's a smaller area. So maybe that might be important to you. Maybe a smaller class, smaller, town. But those are some things to think about. But it has a overall B rating. So you have a lot of school choices here in Macomb County if you are thinking about moving here. So you're not just, stuck to just one school district, which there are some cities that are like that, right? You just get one school district, maybe 2. You have 3 you could choose from here. And so that's a really cool benefit of living in Macomb Township. You can legit have the #1 and #2 best schools in the county right there. All right, let's talk about my favorite thing, which are houses, homes, subdivisions, right? And so in Macomb Township, you're probably looking to spend somewhere between $400,000 up to $700,000 for a home. It all depends what you're looking for, right? But that is kind of the range that you're going to be in if you're looking for a house in Macomb Township, all right? Let's talk about a few subdivisions. All right, and let me go over to my map. And I want to talk about one subdivision that I've done a few home tours on, which is Wolverine Country Club Estates, right there on between 25 and 26 and Romeo Plank, right? I've done a home tour. If you go on my page, it's called The Berkeley by Lombardo Homes. Beautiful place. I've even done the video twice. So hopefully you find the second one where it was just me walking around and my friend Rob was recording. It was great. There's Wolverine Country Club Estates. Some of these houses are worth $700,000 in this area. I want to show you another subdivision. It's called the Villaggio. Personally, it's my favorite. Via Villaggio, right? I got to get my Italiano on when I say that, but there is one called Via Villaggio. It's right across the street from Wolverine Estates, which you see right here. They have nice, beautiful homes. They're still building over here as well. But some of their houses I've seen have even went up to $1 million. I've covered it on my channel. If you're looking for places, and again, these are colonial style houses, split levels, and they even have ranches. A lot of newer style homes there. Let me see what else we got here as far as subdivisions. I think there's one called Deneweth. I think that's how you pronounce it. So let's talk about another one. This one is right here on 23 Mile and North Ave. This one is, it's called Mistwood, right? Actually, at this current moment, my highest viewed video on a home tour is in Mistwood in Macomb. And it's right here on 23 Mile. It's like right after Fairchild and between North Avenue. And you'll find, oops, let me move myself out of the way. Mistwood Estates, really nice homes. They have actually different builders in there. There's Newmark Homes, there's Cherry Creek. There's another one called, I think, Acadia Homes. They have quite a few different builders in that area in Macomb, right? And then there's another place called, I think it's called, Deneweth Farms. It's more of a pre-existing Macomb Township sub, but it's very popular. Right on 22 in Garfield, right? So these are kind of some, sought after areas, kind of prestigious areas in Macomb Township. There's so many. Not to mention there's a new one that just came up called Preston Corners. Also, yeah, there's just so many subdivisions in Macomb Township. It's kind of crazy, and there's still so much land to build on that there's time for you to contact me, and time for you, if there's enough time for you to contact me, and I can represent you and get you into your dream home. But this is why I love this township so much, is because there's still so much growth here. So if you're looking to come into Macomb Township, expect between about 400,000, about 700-ish thousand to be in this area. If you are thinking about moving here. All right, so let's talk about some important streets, right? So let's just say you're a local, you're living in Macomb Township, or you want to live here, right? There's some streets that are pretty important, right? Every city kind of has like their main streets that they know about, that get you to and from places. Let's talk about that right now. One of the streets that comes to mind is is Hall Road, right? And I laugh because I've heard people call it Hell Road. There's a love and hate relationship with Hall Road. For me, I love Hall Road because usually I'm using that to kind of zoom and get to like maybe 75 or whatever. I just use it to get straight through. But at a certain point, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, Hall Road is a disaster. It's an absolute disaster. But this is a main street. And here is a tip for some of you that are looking to move here. If you see Hall Road is getting super crazy, right? Let's say you're coming from 75 and you're coming across Hall Road. Listen, you can take M53 and maybe get off at, 21, 23 mile, depending where you are in Macomb, or you got to ride Hall Road or Hell Road until maybe you get close to your street and just go up a mile or 2 miles or wherever you are. For me, what I normally do is I just kind of take one of these streets. Like if I get close over here, I'll take Romeo Plank and I'll just take it all the way up. I just try to avoid Hall Road, basically is what I'm saying. And many people will tell you that. Another important street is Romeo Plank, which is right here. Romeo Plank touches Hall Road, right? And then you can actually take it all the way up to 25. So it runs all the way up. And then you'll get to 25 Mile Road and it turns into a roundabout. right? Turns into a little roundabout, and then it does this weird thing right here with Garfield, and then it turns back into Romeo Plank. So it does a little weird thing, and then you could take it up to 26 and pass there. So that's another street, that's very, very good in Macomb Township, which is Romeo Plank. You've got Hall Road. There's even another little street. It's kind of important. Let me scroll it down. It's Heinrich, right? Heinrich. A lot of people say, well, if I just say it normal, right? Hall Road and Heinrich, right? We say Heinrich, but I think it's Heinrich, whatever, right? Hall Road and Heinrich. It's in between Romeo Plank and Card. It does cut off at a certain point. I think it's 22. So Heinrich runs from, Hall Road right up to 22 Mile. That's kind of an important road. You can kind of get to some places from there. What's another important street? North Ave is pretty important, kind of important, but not as important, But, all these streets, they're all kind of next to each other, right? Heinrich, there's Card, there's North Avenue. But really, Romeo Plank is kind of the main street that's known in Macomb Township to get around, to get north and south. 23 Mile is starting to turn into Mini Hall Road. And I say that because a lot of times I go to 23 Mile Road to go to, they've got everything there, right? Whether it's like some fast food spots, which I don't eat a lot of fast food, but they got food places and plazas. They got everything there, right? Not to mention, while I'm on it, they do have golf courses. I can't believe I forgot about the golf course. I didn't tell you guys about it. There's Cracklewood. There's Bellow Woods too. Bellow Woods Golf Course. This is right here on, I believe 23. Yes, 23 Mile and Fairchild. So they got some golf courses. There's also another one close to 21 Mile. Let me pull it up. I think it's not Bellow. That's Bellow. I want to know where the courses are. Sycamore Hills. That's the one, right? There's one on Sycamore Hills. This is right there on 21 and North. Sycamore Hills. Yep. Hickory Hollow. So yeah, so if you're looking to, move out here, they do have some golf courses, right? And they're pretty nice. Sycamore Hills, I've actually eaten at their banquet hall. I've seen their golf course, looks nice. I hear pretty good things about Bellow Woods. If I'm not mistaken, I think Bellow Woods has like 18 holes or something. I pass it all the time. It's got a lot. It's pretty crazy golf course. But again, there's a lot of things happening. Forgot to even mention golf, right? So you got food, you got, shopping, you've got, your recreation centers, you've got your parks, you've got golfing, it's just, there's a lot to offer in this kind of this township. But as far as your streets, one of your important streets is going to be Romeo Plank. Romeo Plank, Hall Road, kind of your main areas, right? So now you know how to get around. Now you're a local, all right? All right, you guys. So I think that's really all that I want to show just on this video. There is some more things that I could break this video down to for, Macomb Township, but I wanted to show you guys a little bit of real estate, right? Talk about it, but also just what is going on in this township. There is quite a bit, right? I mean, it's enough to not get bored, right? It's not one of those cities where it's just cows and farmland and you got to go miles and miles out to have some entertainment. No, you can go right down the street. You can go to 23 Mile Road, you can go to Hall Road. You're 10 minutes away from anything that's pretty fun. So I wanted to show that. And again, this is Macomb Township. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you have, I want you to hit the like button for me. I also want you to subscribe. Just let me know that you like this content or, you enjoyed it. I'll say this, just from, a realtor point of view and even my family, my mom and dad stay in Macomb Township. It's not, how can I say? I mean, it is kid friendly, but it's definitely family oriented, right? I guess I want to say it's a family oriented place. It's pretty well to do. And so, the reason why I like Macomb Township from a real estate perspective is there's so much opportunity out there to move. You get nice backyards, you get nice homes. They're new homes a lot of times. And again, between $400,000 to $700,000, you're going to be able to get a pretty good home in a pretty nice township. So Macomb Township is one of my three favorite. My favorite is Washington Township. Then it's Macomb, right? Falls right between there, right? I love Washington, but Macomb Township is kind of a sweet spot where you can get good school districts, you get entertainment, and then also you get a lot of activities around it, right? Again, you got your mall, you got your rec center, your library, you got a lot of things. You got your golfing, you got a lot of things to do around there. And then you got Partridge Creek you can go to and places in Clinton Township. So I love this place. I love showing my clients houses in Macomb, and they love it too, because they feel like they're getting a really good deal in this township. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'm going to wrap this video up. Again, hit the like button. If you're looking to move anywhere in the Macomb, Oakland, or Wayne County area, my information is in the description below, as well as pinned to the top of the comment section. I need you guys to contact me. I love talking to my subscribers and being able to help them get into their homes. So go ahead and give me a call. I'll look forward to speaking to you. Until the next video, you guys stay safe.